Friday here on Odds with Ends. Do you guys know why?
Why?
Why is that?
Not because it's 11-11, because we got football to talk about. It's the weekend, baby, and we're going to talk about that right here. Odds with Ends. I'm Keiana Martin, joined by Erik Coleman, Sean Little, and we will have former Rams reporter Serena Morales joining us here in just a bit. But last week we were talking about the Giants being on a bye. Now the Jets got their bye week, getting a little bit of R&R. So let's talk about those Giants. Giants hosting the Texans this week. I want to dive into this matchup. New York has covered the spread in 6 of their last 8 games this season. Now they're 4.5-point favorites over these feisty Texans. We've seen how they played in recent weeks. Do you guys like this number?
I don't really like it. And this is one of those games where I probably end up staying away from. The Texans are probably the best bad team that in the NFL right now. And these two teams are similarly matched. If you take away the records, they both run the ball well. They both can't stop the run. And they both get after the quarterback. So there's a lot of things that I like about this Texans team that force me to stay away. The Giants, I believe, are going to win this game. There's no doubt. Saquon Barkley's having a career year. He's getting the most touches on the team. He's running it. He's catching it out of the backfield. And Adoree Jackson on the defensive side is doing a great job in coverage. This team, Martindale, has his defense playing locked in. They have the highest blitz rate in the league. That leaves the cornerbacks a great opportunity to jump some routes, and they've been doing a great job. But overall, I'm probably going to end up staying away from this game.
I agree. I don't like this number. It feels very trappy. We actually talked about it all week on the betting exchange. It was, at one point, it got to 6.5 for the Giants. Now it's down to 4.5, 4 in some spots. For a team that's coming off of a bye, that's supposed to be a solid football team at home, you should be giving up more points than 4.5 against a one-win Texans team. It feels very trappy. So overall, I don't like it. Daniel Jones off a bye is 1-2 straight up, and against the spread. This is an indicator that it's going to be a little closer than people may think.
Okay, beyond those numbers that you just gave about Daniel Jones, let's talk about the year that he's having. It's so funny, if you could just press rewind and go to when we were talking in the preseason, we all had a conversation and we said, what does Daniel Jones need to do to get that contract extension? And I don't know, my memory's kind of bad, but I remember you guys saying it's going to take a miracle.
Yeah.
All right, here we are, week 10. He surprised a lot of people. If you guys are the GM, how are you feeling right now about him?
If I'm the GM, I'm feeling good about Daniel Jones. He's done a good job of running this offense. He's taking care of the football. Only has 2 interceptions on the year. He's doing it with his legs. He's keeping the chains moving. He's running your offense efficiently. He can only go up from here. You know, Daboll has done a great job of implementing this game plan with Daniel Jones. And when you look at the landscape of the quarterback position, there's a couple options that you have. If you franchise him, you got to pay him $45 million next year.
Not going to happen.
Not going to happen. Yeah. You could sign another quarterback in free agency, which on free agency is Teddy Bridgewater, Andy Dalton, Case Keenum, Jimmy G. There's not a lot of guys who really excite you. Or you can sign him, pay him $30 million a year and let him continue his growth with this team.
This one's shaking his head.
You saw the numbers on the screen. They're very pedestrian. 6 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. He's not turning it over, which was a big problem of his in previous years. But let's be serious. I think if they don't get a very fair deal, they have to let him walk. I'm looking at something like Mitchell Trubisky's deal. 2-year, $14.3 million. $5.25 million guaranteed. So you could easily separate if say you do give him another opportunity as like a test year, a tryout again next year with Daboll under his second season. But I just can't see them giving him $30 million per. I can't see them franchising him. So it either has to be a really good deal, and I think Daniel knows this, by the way. It either has to be a really good deal or they have to let him walk.
Well, it's tough because he's a starting quarterback in the NFL. He has one of the top teams in the league right now. He's going to be requesting some money. Look at the free agent market. Those quarterbacks that I named for you, they're all getting paid around $30 million. Tannehill, Carson Wentz. These guys are getting paid solid number.
Mitch was coming in to be the starter in Pittsburgh, and that's the deal that he got. That would be a fair deal on both sides, in my opinion. Daboll has seen big boy quarterback play from Josh Allen and guys in the past. He knows Daniel Jones is not the answer for them long term. So if it's not a fair deal, I think they let him walk.
Okay, I think we can all say the Giants have been a pleasant surprise for a lot of people. And the over under coming into this season, they was set at 7. That number's now jumped to 10.5 now that the Giants are sitting at 6-2. But looking at the remaining schedule, guys, do we think that Giants fans can see 10+ wins this year?
I think 10 plus is a little too rich for my blood. 10 wins is right where I see the Giants finishing this season, and that's a very successful season. I would be happy if I was a Giants fan, but when you look at the rest of their schedule, they have the Eagles twice. They play the Cowboys. They play the Commanders twice, and they do play the Colts, the Texans, and the Lions. So those are three games I think they have a chance to win, but I don't see them going into to Washington beating the Commanders. They may split with them. The division games are tough, so I think 10 wins is right the sweet spot for the Jets.
This Sunday is going to be the big answer to this question. If they beat the Texans, which they should get to 10 wins. They then, like EC just laid out, they have the Lions at home the following week. They should win 2 games in a row here, and then that would really propel them going on. Thing you didn't mention about Philadelphia, the Eagles is the last game of the year. Philly could be 15-1, hanging out. Then maybe they rest all their guys, and then that's where the Giants can clip another W and get around that 10-win, 11-win mark. They should get to 10 wins.
Yeah, those divisional matchups are the ones that bring a lot of question marks, because I think they can split some of these matchups, especially looking at this Eagles, and you still have the Cowboys, Commanders. But it's a tricky situation. But I do think that, again, if I was a Giants fan, you're pretty happy with what you see, but I do think they can hit 10. Maybe that 10 plus, maybe hitting that 11 sweet spot. But speaking of 11 and 11 being a magical day, if we could have a perfect wish for the New York Giants, what would that perfect wish be?
My perfect wish would be for them to protect their quarterback. Daniel Jones has been sacked 25 times this season. That's 3rd worst in the NFL. If I'm a Giants fan, I'm looking at this team. I want to evaluate Daniel Jones, and it's hard for a quarterback to quarterback from his back. Give him an opportunity to set back, go through his reads, see his progression, see his growth. They have to protect the quarterback if they want to make some noise in the playoffs and be able to evaluate their quarterback.
That the key wish for me for the Giants, Dexter Lawrence continues to ball out. Everyone's talking about Kayvon Thibodeau. Lawrence leads the team in quarterback pressures with 23, 14.7 pass rush win rate. He's never been higher than 9%. That's 12th in the league for interior linemen. He's been playing really well. I hope he continues to ball. That'd be my wish for the Giants.
Who I want to continue to ball? Obviously, it's Saquon Barkley. I want him to continue to ball out. I actually want him to get comeback player of the year. That is my wish for Saquon. He's having one of the best seasons, dating back to maybe that offensive rookie of the year season. He's averaging 97.4 rush yards per game. He's 3rd in rushing so far this season. I just want him to stay healthy. I think that's the big thing, is seeing Saquon stay healthy. My wish for the New York Giants. And up next, we're going to go from the East Coast. We're going to go out west with my girl Serena Morales. Let's talk California dreaming. We'll be right back on Odds with Ends.